Now, here's the thing. I'm going to read this, and I'm going to explain this. The only person who should watch Quentin Tarantino movies is Bishop Barron. What do I mean by that?
Makes complete sense to me.
What we're trying to say, there's a mouse in my pocket. What we're trying to say here is that Bishop Barron is great at, hey, let's
find the good in this movie.
Let's find the good in this movie because he's extremely intelligent and is morally grounded. I hope. I think he is. I think he's a very. I think he's a good man. I've never met him. Bishop Barron, we'd love to have you on the show. You could even take my spot because I'm totally fine with you hosting. But here's the point: we can't just subjectively keep saying, "Well, I like this movie because of whatever." That we have to have objectivity. So.
Yeah, and I think it's more than that. Like, I think you can say objectively. So we mentioned Quentin Tarantino earlier. I think it's only because His Excellency Bishop Barron, we want you on the show, but I do want to critique this style of review, which is here's this obscene movie, and I'm going to tell you it's great because I can pull these good things out of it. I would say, just to qualify what you said, Tony, those qualities are in the movie, but I think the meaning of the movie, like the whole ethos or the intention of the director, like those things need to be taken into account because I think if Quentin Tarantino talked for 5 minutes about one of his movies to Bishop Barron, they'd be like, no, we disagree. You know? Exactly. And so that's the point.
And you can't go, I can take a book out of my bookshelf at home and I can pull out a page and say, okay, this is a good page. But the book stinks because of what the book is about, right?
Yeah. What it says.
That's the whole premise of like, wait, we can't say that I can pull great things out of Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill, which therefore makes it an acceptable movie.
John and I had a conversation months ago.
Months ago?
Very dangerous.
Oh, wow.
When you get us two in a room, we talk for a long time. We talked about silence. And, you know, at some point we'll talk about silence on the show. That's not what this is about. I'll just say I loved silence until John started talking to me about what the film really means. Because I was looking at scenes. I was like, but this scene, like the best scene of this scene I've ever seen.
Wow.
I'm Dr. Seuss over here.
That's amazing.
I should rap. Should I rap?
You should rap.
I don't know if that's even possible. I sang on the last show or a couple shows ago, but I guess you should rap.
There's a Seuss. I'm Dr. Seuss. There's a moose over there and a blouse in this blue house.
Wow.
I'm a mouse in Tony's pocket. It's a rocket going to the moon. John talk.
Okay. So, yeah, I love this topic. I've had a lot of arguments over this topic. And I have a friend who I argue this with, and he uses the show Girls as an example.
What's that?
So, Girls is an HBO show, which is the millennial Sex in the City. It's like
garbage.
I've never seen it, but it's garbage. Like all like you can see, like it's Lena Dunham, like all conservatives hate it. It was a thing. It was like obviously it's you know, fornication, adultery, partying, drinking, you know, in New York. And so he claims, so he's a good guy. He's, you know, conservative and all. And he's like, it's good because it shows, like you watch that, you see how miserable the people are. Like they act that way, fornicating and stuff. But at the end of the day, they're miserable. But that's not the point the show itself makes. Like the show is not judging them. The show is not criticizing that behavior. It just, they happen to be miserable. They don't really know, or like you kind of, I don't know. I haven't seen it. It's probably a bad example I'm giving on the show because I haven't seen the thing. But basically the point is movies, TV, whatever, they say something. They say multiple things. Every scene says something objectively.
Yeah.
and you can debate on what that is. It's objective what it said. Like it does say something. It says multiple things.
So you can discover it.
You can
It's something to
discover it.
discover,
You can
yeah.
disagree on what it is, but you can't say it's up to me. Like I put this on it. I think it's good because you can interpret it this way. No, you got to see what the movie itself said. So, like the last episode or a couple episodes ago, with Mrs. Doubtfire.
All right.
Mrs. Doubtfire. That's the point you were making,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, if you
I thought you were gonna say something else.
no, if you've heard the episode and stuff, like that's the point. So yeah, so I guess on the other side, the people who disagree with us would say, like, to try to steelman their argument, it would be kind of like this, I think. Like real life, things just happen in real life. You can look at what happened and you can put your judgment on it. You can say it means this. And someone else can say like, no, it means that. Like that guy fell down the drain. And you can put your meaning. It's like that happened to him because he did this and that. And that sort.
Yeah.
And then you can say a work of art, a film, just is events happening without any intrinsic meaning to them. And then you see the events happening. You see like,
the director has a thought. You have a thought. You kind of make up the meaning.
It exists. And then you can say, oh, that person got married to a bad person. When you do that, when you marry someone who's not, serious about marriage and they don't want to be married and they have wrong ideas about it, that's going to end poorly. You can say or you can say, oh, the movie says, I think divorce is good by watching that movie. But the movie is not saying anything. It just is, and you're putting it. So we disagree with that. We say that movies, and maybe it's not the case for paintings or music. I don't know, but I care about movies. Take it very seriously. And we think that every scene says multiple things. Every movie says multiple things, multiple statements. Sometimes it's hard to know exactly what it says. And it's not just about the dialogue or the writing or the moral of the story at the end. It's not just one thing it says at the end. Like the way film language works, the way it's shot, cut, acted, written, the dialogue is written, the plot is written. Everything says something.
Because the filmmaking process is so intentional. It's like, what lens are you using? Like where are you positioning the camera? How are you lighting this? Like those all relate to what do you want to say?
And we're bringing family movie night back. Wowzer Bowser. It's Gladiator, the first one and better one with Russell Crowe. Now, look, we know that you don't want the violence, the gore, all the other stuff. They weren't smoking, but they did have profanity and other things. So you want to go to vidangel.com and use promo code CRUSADE so that you can watch this with your family and take out all the bad stuff. And you tell it what you want to take it out. So you're going to go to vidangel.com, use promo code CRUSADE, and that's going to help you and it's going to help us. So spread the word. We're going to vidangel.com, promo code CRUSADE. That's promo code CRUSADE. Go on a crusade and use the promo code.
If you put a light under someone's chin, it's scary lighting.
Yeah.
If you put a light up here, like how we have in the studio, it's pleasant lighting. That's saying something. So it's not like, oh, what do you think this means? It's like, well, you look scary. It has a meaning to it.
And the intention of the filmmaker matters as evidence, but it's not the end all be all, because a filmmaker can have an intention
and just
muff
get it
wrong,
up.
right?
Yeah,
so
right.
oh, I wanted to say this, but the film says something else. I'm sorry. But in fairness, for most movies people see, it's done by excellent filmmakers. They actually achieve roughly what they want. I think it's more rare, like maybe like film students probably get this more wrong than like professional movies. Usually, I think it's very good evidence to look at what the filmmaker's intention. Like if you see an interview or if you know their politics, you know their religion, you know what they usually say. Right. That is a pretty, like if you're arguing with someone, this movie says this objectively, and the other person's like, no, it says this objectively, because you can still disagree. Like Cameron and I agree, movies say something objectively. We can disagree on what it says. And I say the movie's good because it says this, which is good. And Cameron's like, no, it objectively says this, which is bad.
Like Sunset Boulevard, which we'll get into.
No, we both like it. It's cool.
I like it.
No, it's cool. We both like it.
We're cool.
Yeah. So
guys, don't worry. We're cool. We're cool.
It's totally cool. And I just want to throw out there that John, you went to film school. So you studied this. It's not as if like, hey, I just woke up one day and I decided I really like movies and I'm going to be an editor. You went to school, you studied this. And before that, you obviously were a fan of movies. You continue to be a fan of movies. Cameron, you're a filmmaker, right? You're both filmmakers. You're a senior editor. Cameron, you're a director. You're a chief.
I'm a chief. Just leave it at that.
That chief's good.
Chief.
I'm not that kind of chief.
But the point is,
well, what drives me nuts is, sorry, I'm trying to build off what you're saying. You look at me like you want to punch me.
I don't want to punch you at all.
Great.
I want to say go.
Go for it. What drives me nuts is so much film criticism where they discuss movies and the rankings of movies end up being wildly different. It's like, this movie is terrible. No, it's a masterpiece. It's like, well, we just disagree. It's like, there's this gap between, like, how can there be such a gap? And it's with like intelligent religious people. And so what I want to say very strongly, if film criticism is all subjective, then what are we even doing to talk about it? It's like, blue is my favorite color. It's like, no, green is so much better. And if it all boils down to just a subjective preference or an experience in the theater.
So where does the Hays Code fit into this? Or are we not even going to bring that up in this segment? Because it was a set of standards.
Yeah.
And that you can, whether you agreed with those set of standards or not.
Well, here's how it lines up. So there's a set of standards that say you can't do this, you must do that.
Right.
In your films. It matches up with this because to do those things would be to make a film that's not true. If you are treating religion as a buffoonish belief,
right?
That's not true. Mm-hmm. And so to do that in a film is objectively missing the mark. And that's just one example of like 100 things in the Hays Code.
Not to mention, even if we've talked a little bit about the Hays Code in a past episode, but let's just say the 10 Commandments are a set of standards, right? They're a set of standards for our life. So if we know we shouldn't use the Lord's name in vain, why would we put it in a movie? That's a huge pet peeve of mine, right?
It's evil.
It is. Yeah. It is. Well, you shouldn't do it.
That would be I think trying to break down the films into truth, like true, good, and beautiful. Mm-hmm. I think that goes into the goodness of it, which is connected to the truth. Because if you, for example, say show nudity in a movie, a nude sex scene, let's say, that's evil. So it's both evil, it's both against goodness, but it's also against truth. Because when you do that in a film, you are saying at least one thing. I mean, this is a hypothetical movie. Nothing else is said. At least you're saying it's okay, it's morally acceptable to film these people simulating sex while nude. Like, you're saying that by filming it.
That's true.
Unless you're saying I'm evil while doing it, which is not the case. So truth and goodness gotta go hand in hand. But go ahead.
Therefore, guys, this is really a question for you because here's the question. Given that fact, which I totally agree with, John, is it then somebody might argue and say, well, we had to do it to prove this point, right? We're trying to prove the point that adultery is bad. So we had to do this thing. I say baloney with that.
Well, in Sunset Boulevard, they imply that they sleep together at some point, right? No?
Yes.
They
do.
Okay.
On New Year's Eve. New Year's.
Okay.
Or multiple. I think it implies
it multiple
because they're in a relationship. Yeah.
But it didn't show her with her clothes off.
No, that's the movie doing it well.
Right,
Okay, that's the difference, right?
Yeah, because
that's the difference.
You can
not Oppenheimer, where it's like, why did you need to do that?
Yeah, well, I had to do it. I couldn't think of any other. It's like, really? You're Christopher Nolan. You couldn't think of another way to communicate.
No, there's no excuse. The ends don't justify the means.
Totally.
Thank you.
Never.
100%.
Never ever. So.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah.
Counter double triple point.
Go.
In a movie like Amistad, where you had naked slaves falling over the edge of the boat and sinking, like being killed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think contextually, and I've seen movies that have like partial nudity in like other cultures. Like what's that movie by Mel Gibson?
Oh,
Apocalypto.
Okay.
I think there was some partial nudity scenes, but like when I watched that, it was different. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just bringing it up as an example to say contextually, it's not.
I think it's less bad because it depends. Like it's not one thing, so it's there are degrees.
And in some cultures, that's just how they dress.
Yeah, but I still not do. I think ideally the perfection is never to do it. Just don't do it. Like
exactly.
Oh, it's unrealistic that they're wearing a little bit of clothes in this country.
Exactly.
Whatever. Be unrealistic.
Let's go right back to the.
Well, you got to think about your actors and your crew as well.
Think about what's right above me. I've heard people say Christ was probably crucified naked because it was a humiliating thing.
Sure.
But how dare we would ever show him?
Yeah, true.
Jim Caviezel wasn't naked in The Passion.
Yep.
So if that's the case, then I'm with, I'm not saying you're not saying this, Cameron, but John, I'm with you. It's like the ends don't justify the means. You just don't do it. You don't have to use the Lord's name in vain.
Oh, yes.
You
absolutely.
can make the point through a certain means if you have any amount of talent. And that's why I say to somebody like Quentin Tarantino, you don't have true talent when you're making films that way.
No, I think it's different. He doesn't care. He's not. I don't think it's fair. He doesn't have the talent. He wants
He's misusing his talent.
He thinks it's a good thing. He does it on purpose. He doesn't even have. If he converted, I think he's talented enough that he became on fire for Christ. He would be good at getting around.
Yes, but now he's showing himself to be. He's not showing his true talent by making the movies the way that they should. The stuff is garbage. I tried watching. I started watching one of his movies, and we just had to turn it off in the first 7 minutes. It was so garbage.
So this is kind of coming full circle. But why did I choose Quentin Tarantino and Bishop Barron to try to illustrate this point? Which is, again, Bishop Barron, we think you're super smart. This is why I think you can watch these movies just fine. I think for most people, the problem is, for the masses, for most people, is they watch a movie and they are not smart enough to get over all the hurdles, over the apparent contradictions to our faith and the meanings of his films, which are always about revenge and violence. Right. And those are justified because if you're mad enough or if you've been hurt enough, then it's a virtuous thing to do.
I don't even, Bishop Barron, you shouldn't watch those movies.
Well,
that's my opinion.
Can I make one last point though?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think there's a nuance here because
bring it.
What we're saying, I think there's a practical element and a theoretical element.
Okay.
We love movies. We are here to transform film, and that's what the three of us are trying to do, right?
Right.
And so we care deeply about how objectively rated they are. But if you're a dad or a catechesis teacher or whoever, and in practice you think you can show a movie that's technically, like Cameron and I will sit and we're going to say objectively it says these wrong things, but it's moral. Let's say it doesn't show anything bad, but it just says lies, like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
But if you're Keith Nestor and you're really smart and you're really good and you're going to be like, guys, let me show you a lesson on how marriage can go wrong if you don't start it right. And Keith Nestor is there in practice, like it serves him a purpose because he can teach with that example and he can talk about it. So we're not saying it's evil to watch movies that say false things. We're just nerds and we're trying to say, here's how you rank them. Here's how you rate them. That's all.
It'd be narrow-minded to say in no circumstance can anyone watch this movie. Yeah. There's some movies we would say that too. But I agree with your point. It's like if you are in a position where you can dissect it intellectually, which is like, I'm talking to the people who are just watching movies, just like get out your popcorn and watch this movie. Just like, don't bother because of the meaning of what the movie's saying. I think that if the Hays Code is brought back, which wink, wink, maybe we're working on something.
Oh man.
If the Hays Code is brought back, I think there would be a good bit of movies that I would just refuse to watch on principle because of what they say, or some scenes that just soil it, soil the movie. And cutting the scene out isn't enough.
Right. Which means it's not enough just to take them out. There are certain movies that just shouldn't be watched. Period. That's the bottom line.
Unless you are intellectually, like a Bishop Barron or us, if we need to give a movie to people and like, someone needs to say, don't watch this movie. Someone needs to watch it. You know, I don't know. There's movies that we have to watch as educators.
I guess I see your point there. But when we come back, we're gonna talk about this more. We're gonna talk about this more in future episodes. Maybe we're not gonna go to sleep tonight. We're gonna keep talking about it. I don't know what's gonna happen. But when we come back, we're gonna rank every movie ever. If you liked that clip, which I'm sure you did, then check out our other clips. And don't forget to go into the comments section and hype this bad boy. Don't make me get fat cardinal. Hype it now.